What's up guys, Jonny May here and welcome to this week's quick tip where I'm going to teach you how to take a very simple pop melody and we're going to add some passing chords to it to make it sound a lot more interesting and a couple reharmonizations. Let me show you what you're going to learn in this lesson. So we're going to take this very simple melody, let me play it for you, and then you're going to hear the reharmonization. Very, very simple melody, okay? Check this out. We're going to add some chords to it to make it more interesting. Okay, really, really cool stuff. So this is really valuable. This is a lesson for intermediate level players. If you're on the late beginner side, I think you'll be able to handle it just fine. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, we are looking here at our lead sheet. What I'm going to do for you guys today is we're going to start off with the simple melody. I'm going to teach you the way I'm playing it, and then we're going to jump in and talk about these passing chords. And as you can see here, I've put arrows here to show you where all these passing chords occur, and I'm going to be explaining exactly what we're doing, okay? So let's go ahead and start from the top. Here is the melody that we just wrote. Go ahead and play this with me, okay? So we're going, it's like a C major chord. That's our melody up there, E, 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 D, okay? Real simple melody, okay? C and G on the bottom. You guys see that? Then we go to a little A minor chord, like that. A on the bottom, E in the middle, C on the top. Okay, simple melody, okay? Next chord is an F major. We got an F on the bottom, C and A on the top, okay? 3 times on the A, G, and then we're going to go to a little D minor chord. Okay? These are typical chords you're going to see in pop music or in contemporary music. Let's keep going. A little G major chord, G, D on the bottom, B and D on the top. Okay? Twice on the D, E, D. Walk this up here. This is an A minor chord. Okay? A, E, A, C. Kind of walking up there, C, D, E, C, and then we're going to go to this D dominant chord. You're going to see this chord occasionally in music. This is the 2 chord. Okay, this is a D7, D, F sharp, and C. Okay, melody is A, B, C, E. Okay, and then we're going to go to a G7 chord. Okay, G, B, and F in the left hand. You can play the full chord if you wanted like that. I just have it notated simply. Okay, and guys, that's pretty much the song. It's going to repeat itself, and then we have a second ending. Okay, let's play it the second time, and we'll do the second ending. Okay, here it is. C major to an A minor chord. All right, that's the 6th chord, by the way. Now we're going to go to the 4 chord F, to the 2 chord D minor, now the 5 chord, to a 6 chord A minor, and then we're going to end the tune. Okay, very simple ending. Okay, D7, that's going to be here, D, F sharp, C, A in the right hand, up to E, D in the right hand, with the G and the B in the left hand. That's the root and the 3rd of the chord. And then we're going to go to that C major, okay? C, G, E, and C. It's a spread out C major chord, okay? So guys, this is the simple melody. What I would encourage you to do is just learn this melody. I would memorize it and really think about these chords, okay? Because really this is a kind of an analysis on these chords and how to bridge the chords to connect them together, right? That's really the key here is putting chords in between. So I again would analyze this chord progression. Make sure you understand the progression. It's a 1 chord to a 6 chord to a 4 chord to a 2 chord, that's a D minor, to a 5 chord G major, to a 6 chord, this is A minor. A 2 chord is D, a 5 chord is G. Now, if you're confused about this, we've got a ton of lessons at pianowithjonny.com. Currently over 400 lessons in all the styles you could possibly want to learn. But we've got these fundamentals roadmaps where I teach you the fundamentals of music. And if you're not totally clear on these chords, we have what are called key courses where I teach you all of your diatonic chords in basically every single key. And you'll learn all these chords, right? You can learn it in the key of C course. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Okay, guys, so let's move along here. So that's the simple melody, and what I want to do now is I want to talk about these passing chords and how to make this a lot more interesting, okay? So how does this work, okay? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take all these gaps here and we're going to throw some chords in here to essentially lead you to the next chord, okay? Well, how do we do this? Well, there's a very cool way you can do this using what are called secondary dominant chords, meaning if I want to get to an A minor chord, I can use the 5 of that chord to get to that chord, okay? Let me show you what I mean. If I'm on an A minor chord, or if I want to get to an A minor chord, I can use the 5 chord of A minor. That's an E. That's going to be an E chord, right? That's the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a dominant chord on the 5, an E7, and that gets us to an A minor. Okay? And this is generally how we progress through harmony in music, is you have this 5-to-1 relationship. Oftentimes the 5 chord is a dominant chord. And so that's what we've done here, guys, is before these chords, now the A minor, we can put a little E7. Okay? Isn't that cool? Look at our next one. We want to get to this F major chord. Okay? How do we get there? We can put a C7. C7 is the 5 of an F chord. Okay? We talk a lot about this in our jazz lessons, actually, at pianowithjohnny.com. This is very much a jazz concept here. And in fact, it does kind of make it sound a little bit jazzy the way we are adding these passing chords. Okay? So C7 leads to F. Let's see, what would lead to a D minor? A7. That's the 5 of a D, or a D minor. Okay? A7 over D. Now, I did put these slash chords. This basically is a different root. I basically indicated here that I want, you know, for E7 chord, I want to put the B in the root. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute because we're going to create this descending line in the left hand to make it very beautiful. But these slashes that you see, all they mean is, you know, the left, this is the chord on the left, the right note is the root. It's the bass line that I want to create, okay? So this is the basic idea here, guys. This is a diminished chord. We'll talk about this in a minute. Once again, getting to our A minor 7, you can use an E7. We're using this G sharp in the bass, but let's go ahead and walk through this arrangement. Okay, here we go, guys. You ready for this? So much more interesting. Okay, we're going to start with that melody, and we're going to go to this E7 over B, okay? And what we're doing here, guys, is we're using just a nice spread out chord. So this is an E, kind of an E major in the right hand. We've got the 5th of the chord in the left hand. And the reason I wanted to put this 5th in the left hand is it creates a descending bass line. Okay, see this? Okay, so that was an intentional decision there, okay? So once again, the chord here is an E7. You could put the 7 there if you wanted. We're going to get there when we play the melody because we go bum bum ba dum. That's the 7, which is already contained in the melody. Okay, E7 chord, right? There's your chord, and we're doing kind of like that. Okay. E7 over B, A minor, C7 over G. Okay, really cool, a lot more interesting. Okay, G in the bass. This is a C7, E, B flat, and C. And we're just pulling the note out of the right hand, okay? Just to give it a little bit of a spread there. It's kind of nice to do that. You don't always want to double your notes, okay? It's the first phrase, second phrase. So much more interesting than what we had before. All that gap, we're going to fill that gap, okay? So 1 and 2, that's the A7 over E. You guys see that? 3rd and root. That's the 5th of the chord. And then the melody is going to go to the 7th there. Okay, you could go like that if you want to hit the 7th early. I don't like to do that. I like to wait to hit the 7th of the chord. Okay, next chord is a D minor chord, D, A, and F. Nice spread out. Kind of makes it sad. Kind of makes it minor. Okay, this is something I love to do on my 2 chord. Is you can go, you know, D straight minor, or you can go D diminished. Okay, diminished just means you lower the 5th. Okay, if you guys are confused about these chords, or confused about some of these harmonic concepts, check our courses out at pianowithjohnny.com. We have full-length courses where I explain all of the theory, a lot of what I'm explaining to you now. By the way, guys, the lesson sheet music, which you're looking at here, is downloadable for our members at pianowithjohnny.com. We have a ton of member perks that not only do they get access to all of our courses, but you can download the sheet music. You can change the key of the sheet music with a very powerful smart sheet music. Click of one button, you can put this in any key. So those are some perks you get with the Piano with Johnny membership. All right, let's keep moving, guys. So we've got this phrase, A7 over E, D minor to D diminished. Next phrase, check it out. So beautiful. Okay, what are we doing here, guys? That's how we played it the first time. Now, we're going to use this passing chord. Beautiful way of getting to an A minor chord from a G is we use this little half step coming up from the G, and this is an E7 chord. Okay, just like I talked about earlier, it's the 5 chord of an A minor 7, except we're going to use an inversion. We're going to put the G sharp on the bottom because we want this bass movement. We want ba-da-dum. We want that movement. E7 over G, or G sharp, that's an A minor. This is a really beautiful chord here. This is an E minor over G chord. I'm basically going, you know, right? That's the kind of basic chord progression, but I'm just walking it down like that, okay? Really nice thing that you can do. I'm just harmonizing the E up there, okay? Now, here's some magical chords. Ooh, what are those chords? What are we doing? Well, these are the reharmonizations I was talking about. These are not passing chords, really. What I'm doing is I'm taking the chord, which was a D7, and I'm suspending it. Okay, these are called sus chords. It's a really beautiful way of transforming a dominant chord. Okay, so I'm using the G in the left hand, walking that down to an F sharp. You guys see that? That's a D7 sus4. There's your D7, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the G. G7 sus4 to a G7, okay? All right, guys, that's the first ending. We're going to play once more through the tune. Let me show you the second ending, and then we'll play the whole thing. Okay, check it out. Okay, next line here. And the final phrase. Okay, a little bit different, okay? What we're going to do this time is we're just going to change it up just a little bit. This is the third reharmonization. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the D7, but we're going to use an inversion. We're going to put the F sharp on the bottom, okay? And it just kind of has a leading tone quality because that's the leading tone to the G, okay? Rather than going D7 down here, we're going to invert it. We're going to use an inversion of this chord, F sharp, D, and A, okay? G7, and then our C major, okay? And that's our landing point. All right, guys, let's do the whole thing at tempo. Actually, go a little bit slowly and go ahead and try playing along with me, okay? Here it is. 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and repeat. F major, D minor, D diminished, next phrase, and the final phrase. Okay? So this is a very powerful technique. It's so important in our lessons that you not only can play what I show you, but you'll understand what I'm doing because I want you to be able to take other songs and add passing chords to the song. So remember, if you want to add chords in between other chords, a very powerful tool is the secondary dominant tool. It's the 5 chord of the next chord, and you use the dominant chord. And the other thing I do here is that walk down. Okay, very, very effective way, very beautiful way of creating a bass line out of these chords. All right, guys, this concludes this week's quick tip. Did you enjoy the lesson? If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now, if you enjoyed this course, I want to take you behind the scenes at pianowithjohnny.com and show you some of our other pop courses. Check it out. All right, we are inside the pop roadmap here at pianowithjohnny.com. This is what our members see when they're logged in, but this is the roadmap, and this is the beginner intermediate roadmap, and I want to show you a few of these courses because I think you're really going to love these courses because I really go into a lot more detail on pop music. In the love progression lesson, this is almost a 2-hour lesson, but I teach you a progression very similar to this one. It is used, it's probably the most popular pop progression of all time. It's used on almost every love song, and I teach you 6 different left-hand patterns. This is a course for beginner and intermediate players. We talk about the right hand, how to harmonize, how to use thirds and sixths to harmonize the melody, and then we talk about 4 beautiful effects that you can use to make it more interesting. In my Go the Distance course, we take the classic, Disney song, right? And I talk about how to basically play that in a pop style. We talk about arranging techniques in that lesson. In the contemporary improv lesson, I show you 6 of my favorite chord progressions. Just beautiful. Okay, really, really lovely chord progressions that you can play. Again, this is for beginner intermediate players, so they're very easy to play, and I talk about how to construct these gorgeous chord progressions. The one chord wonder lesson, this is a really cool lesson because it's one chord that you can play in the right hand, one cluster chord that you can play over any other chord in a key. Like, check it out. I'm playing the same chord in the right hand, so we're going to really discuss this one chord. I call it the one chord wonder. It's really commonly used in popular music and a lot of contemporary, actually worship music. If you play at a church, this works very, very well. We have the intermediate advanced roadmap where I teach you some very fun courses. The Happy Monday course. Okay, really fun lesson. We talk about improv in that lesson. We have the Go the Distance course, the Hercules course for intermediate advanced players. We have the contemporary improv course if you want to learn how to improvise over the pop style. I teach you 8 essential chord progressions. A lot of really great stuff here. This is an original tune called Believe. That I teach you. I talk about my arranging techniques, and then the film improvisation lesson. So we're going to talk about that progression and all the magical things you can do with it. And as I mentioned in the lesson, members at Piano with Jonny get unlimited access to all of our lessons. Currently over 400 lessons in jazz, blues, boogie woogie, pop, rock, theory, technique, fundamentals, and we have lessons for all playing levels. We do live monthly events, we do a live Q&A, we do a live workshop lesson where you can ask me your practice questions live. We do weekly challenges for our members. We have ear training guides. We have the full piano learning platform. So be sure to check out the membership at Piano with Jonny. And then we have a huge community, currently over 1,000 Piano with Jonny members who are here encouraging and motivating each other every single day. So if you want to be part of an awesome platform, check out the membership at pianowithjonny.com. Guys, thank you so much for watching this quick tip. We're doing a quick tip every single week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.